Hello, I'm Ryan, and this is the Ballin After. Well, it's been a big week in Euroleague, it's been a somewhat big week in domestic leagues, and of course there's a lot of big changes happening here at BIE, so let's get right to it. Number one, oh boy, there are two countries running the show. It was a huge week for Turkey and Russia in Euroleague. 7 teams between the two nations went into Euroleague action. All 7 came out victorious. Of course, the biggest result in the eyes of most people was Karsiyaka's debut win in Euroleague at home against Barcelona. Indeed, Ufuk Sarika kind of stole the show afterwards by joining the fans in a pub or cafe of some kind afterwards in the old Kaf 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 Sin 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 chant itself. So that was kind of cool. You wouldn't really see Xavi Pascual trying that. But aside from that, it was a sheer dominance of the Turkish sides. Fener struggled a bit, Dhaka struggled a bit, but FS looked absolutely amazing. All 3 Russian sides looked very, very in control. So you look at Loko, you look at Kimki, you look at Sheshka, and you're kind of going, these are 3 serious teams. So between Turkey and Russia alone, you got a lot of power, a lot of strength, and that's going to cause a lot of problems for people in the regular season at least, and surely through the top 16, if not later in EuroLeague. The game of the week for us is involving one of those 7 teams, unsurprisingly enough. Pinar Karsiyaka travelled to Athens for a massive test against arguably the best kind of home advantage there is in EuroLeague, Panathinaikos of Athens. So Panathinaikos, of course, struggled last week, not exactly impressive in their road loss, but they've got a huge home crowd. They're going to go up against a team which does not have much experience at this level. They had the home fans behind them in Karsiyaka and in Izmir last week. Karsiyaka this time they got to go to Athens and they got to take on a very, very hot crowd. So it's going to be interesting to see how this side copes with a pretty decent Panathinaikos team, at least on paper. Number 2, hey look, we got another guy. So Cian Nihill is an Irish basketball player who I'm pretty certain that next to none of you have heard of. But I know, he's a good mate actually. And he spent a year in Melbourne, and before that he was Basketball Ireland's main PR person. He's back, he's studying to be a solicitor, and he's also playing in the Irish National League. So we're going to hear from Cian now, which is taken from just after his club Moycullen's win over Eanna in the National Basketball Arena at the weekend.
Cian, you're just back from Australia, obviously only a few months, and now you're back playing. First win of the season for Moycullen, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, it was obviously good to get the first win of the season. We've had 2 losses, and we've actually played pretty well. We've got a huge squad, so we've got 12 guys who are all looking for minutes, and we found it a little bit difficult to find our rhythm. So a game like today was brilliant because all guys got in, everyone contributed, and we don't have the normal 8-man rotation, so having 12 guys playing well, fantastic. Obviously hope to build for it now.
And obviously as part of that, you had a run of 37 points out of 39 scored in the game. Did you guys notice how in control you were that early?
We did. Well, we had a huge advantage inside. It was pretty easy for the guards. We were just putting it in Paul Freeman, Andy Burns. In fairness to Eanna, they're a lot better than they were today. They missed a pile of shots, and we had the height advantage on them. So yeah, we were in control, but you know, it was one of those games for Eanna, and obviously our big guys played excellent.
So that was Cian Nihill of Moycullen. A bit of background and context there. Moycullen are in the Premier Division for the first time in in 2 years, I think it is. They dropped out for a year down to Division 1, and it's a big step up for them. Eanna, it's their first year in the Premier League as well. And well, Moycullen had a crazy run. I said to Cian in that video, it's 37-39. I'm actually wrong. It was 39 of 41 points in the first half scored by Moycullen on a single run. That's pretty impressive. Well, putting it mildly, that's absolutely ridiculous. Eanna were awful. But aside from that, the other game of the day saw Demons look like, well, demons. They beat UCD Marian pretty convincingly. The highlights are linked to below. We did them ourselves, so I can assure you the quality is questionable. But beyond that, it was a pretty interesting game. Another game's highlights from Ireland that I'm going to recommend, which we didn't do, but just looked pretty awesome, was the 81-80 win for Templeogue over Swords Thunder. Because they have these crazy guys, Eagle Eye TV, who seem to be doing Templeogue's games. They make 10-minute long highlight videos, and you're kind of going, why would I watch 10 minutes of the Irish Basketball League? Well, watch the video. It's kind of awesome. Like, you wouldn't know the standard, really, to be honest, from the way it's shot. So, yeah, give that a look. Give it a, I'm giving it a link here. That's also below. And, yeah, that's great. And so I suppose that leads us on nicely to item 3. Big news at BIE. So, you might have seen the post I put up at the weekend there. If not, it's linked below. And, well, basically, we're trying to make the site better, and we need you. So the comments here, or pretty much any of our other routes, that's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. If you can find my email, go to look. It's currently written the wrong way in the website, and I've got to get our tech guy to fix it because I don't know how to fix that page. But anyway, we're looking for Europe feedback about the various things you want to see us cover. We're still going to be a hardcore, long-form analytics site, analysis site. That's what we do. It's what we're best at. If you want news, there are better sites than us, and we're never going to be like that. We're just trying to enrich your experience, to use a horrible buzzword marketing term, but I'm trying to say basically is we kind of want BIE to be better. One of the things we're doing as well as part of this, and it's kind of silly, is we're just getting a new desk, which might sound as basic as it comes, partially because it is really basic, but the desk we're getting onto, getting done, it's going to be pretty complex. It's going to have multiple brackets, the idea being that, as you all know, there are multiple games in multiple European leagues on at one time, and when I'm writing, I kind of have to make a punt of a call beforehand as to what's going to be the story, and more often than not I'm right, but sometimes, frankly, it makes more sense to be able to jump back and forth and be able to tell a wider narrative. We want to increase our coverage, and more important than that, BIE just needs, an actual permanent home, because the way we operate at the moment is pretty much seat of our pants. It's great to write in cafes and pubs, but frankly, it's not as easy in terms of following games and writing. So having this multi-screen setup and having, frankly, an actual home for BIE should increase the amount of coverage we do and just, frankly speaking, make it better. We've already confirmed that our broadband is finally getting brought up to a decent standard, so we'll have a nice 100 megabit connection, which will be great for watching games, and should also lead to some more retro-y type archive-focused features. We've got a couple of great pieces coming out this week, including another episode of the Ballin After. It's our first special since the Final Four in Madrid. It's a much shorter special as well than that. In fact, I think it's going to be shorter than this episode is. But that said, it's awesome. You should definitely check it out. It's all ahead of a big arrival into European basketball, which I think my even saying that gives it away, but definitely check it out. Now, as always, it's time for the hot take. This week, Semih Erden putting the D in Darussafaka Dogus. Okay, let me tell you about Semih Erden. Semih is not your conventional big man basketball player. What people see as flaws, they just don't get. Semih Erden is an artist. He is a man who just takes the concept of basketball and changes it. He twists it in a way that you or I can't possibly understand. We think he's playing badly. We think he's not guarding well. We think he's not finishing well. We think he's not moving well. We think what he calls movement is a questionable concept. But no. Semih Erden is an artiste on the floor. You see it when he's out there for Dhaka, you saw it for Fener, and you saw it for Turkey. Semih Erden realizes that the sport of basketball needs that unique presence, that unique face. It's going to be a different type of game when Semih Erden is on the floor. Yeah, the other team might score more. Yeah, the other team might get more boards. Yeah, the other team might generally win because Semih Erden is on the floor. But what Semih Erden brings is an experience that no other basketball fan, no other basketball player can bring, and no other basketball fan can possibly understand, especially this basketball fan. But what I do appreciate is that Semih is making sure that every time you see Semih play, it's an experience that no other player can give you. That's what I want from my ballers. I want them to show me what they bring to the table that's different, whether that difference involves not doing the basics of basketball right, or whether it involves wasting amazing athletic talent. Whatever it takes, I want to see that difference, and Semih Erden is that difference. He is the man who brings the D, the double D even, into Darussafaka Dogus. Yeah, I totally said Dogus as Dogus, didn't I? Oh, you didn't expect me to be still here, did you? Okay, well, the important part is, sorry to the Dhaka fans. I was trying to say Dogus, just doesn't caught in my throat. And more importantly, for those of you still tuned in, please like, comment, subscribe. I have no idea where those buttons are, by the way, but do that. And join us on later in the week for our special. And of course, join us next week for our regular episode.